Morning and happy Friday, 4G. Got quite a lot of things to get through in this screencast lesson, so please listen carefully. We're going to take a quick look at some of the little scene that's straight after what you looked at for me yesterday. But before we do that, let's have a look at yesterday's answers. So this is a scene where the reunion of Truman's dad happens, which really shows the extent to which Truman is controlled and manipulated. So that's our theme of manipulation and control. These answers are posted up, but I just want to go through a couple of them with you. This is the first time in the film that we see the extent to which the production crew are behind everything. We get a really good understanding of how it's built minute by minute and all the people who are involved in that. Very obvious that Christof is in control and exploiting Truman. You can look at those angles. The bridge scene, it's actually a crane shot, and you can hear Christof say, crane, 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 and he's going up to show and looks down on Truman, making him seem quite vulnerable. The mise-en-scène of this shot is clever because it's sort of setting up this very staged moment, which is almost too perfect, and that symmetry of the two sides of the bridge perfectly shaped in a symmetrical fashion kind of helps us get the sense that it's just all too perfect, and it's all built just to have the most perfect response from the audience. A number of the shots are shown of the audience who are absolutely clicking into this event, and that's called cross-cutting. And what is notable about the mise-en-scène of this shot? So not only do we have audience waiting on his every word in Truman, for Truman's watching Truman's life, but we can see in this shot that watching Truman brings people together. It creates love between people. They give each other a big hug, and these guys are hugging as well down here. And it's not just, there's the sense that people enjoy Truman and get drawn together through watching him. Very important, the pillow that she's hugging has got Truman's face on it, which really emphasizes the fact that she's bought merchandise. She's paying revenue towards this whole big creation, and therefore she's responsible for funding it and allowing it to continue. She is a consumer, and Truman is still in prison because of her and millions and millions of others like her. These actors are chosen just to show that everywhere all around the world, people were watching the Truman Show, people of different ethnicity and different ages. Sorry about my layout, it all went completely wobbly at the end of this worksheet. I'm not quite sure what happened. So in this one, I wanted you to notice the little insert of Truman. And he's in there, this little tiny picture of Truman, and it's like he's stuck and captured with that frame around him. It makes him look what he is, vulnerable and imprisoned. He's tiny and he's stuck in this frame and he cannot get out. The final shot. So I asked you how it made you feel. It makes me feel a bit queasy. It's clear that Truman has genuine fatherly kinds of feelings towards Truman. He's watched him grow up. He thinks he loves him. He thinks he cares about him, and he does have genuine feelings for him. However, at the same time as caring for Truman, Christof is prepared to control him and literally imprison him, take away his choices in ways that we strongly feel are wrong. We don't watch this movie and think, oh, that's okay. That's not a bad thing to do to someone. We watch this movie and we think this is wrong. How can he do this to somebody else? And this, I asked about how does this give you any wider understanding? And that's what I wanted you to comment on, was the fact that many real relationships are similar in the way that one person might seek to control the other. They think they're caring for them, but actually they want them to behave in a certain way or to be a certain kind of person because that's pleasing to them, the controlling person. And actually, the desire for control over others is a source of much conflict in life. And there are many, relationships between parents and children go wrong because parents won't allow their children to be who they are. They want them to be who they want them to be. And with partners and spouses, people struggle to let others be who they are. They want them to be a certain way so that they can enjoy them. And so there's often a lot of control in relationships, and sometimes when relationships break down, it's about control. Slightly longer screencast today because we've got lots to get through. I wanted to show you this little bit about in the film where Sylvia confronts Christoph.
Why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
The Hague for Christoph. Hello. The Hague. All right, we've lost that call. Let's go to Hollywood, California. You're on True Talk.
Hi, Christoph. I'd just like to say one thing. You're a liar and a manipulator, and what you've done to Truman is sick.
Well,
so we probably agree with her when she says that.
The Hague for Christoph. Hello.
Christoph claims that Sylvia doesn't know him like Christoph does. But she says,
What right do you have to take a baby
and
turn his life into some kind of mockery? Don't you ever feel guilty?
I have given Truman the chance to lead a normal life. The world, the place you live in, is the sick place.
Okay, so that's his justification for this whole thing, is that actually he's provided a world for Truman which is safe and beautiful and positive, and nothing bad ever happens and there aren't any risks. But we know that that's not what people want. And so that's what we're going to talk about next. Our next major theme we haven't done a lot of talking about is to do with what is it that we really want. We want freedom. We want to be able to experience our own lives. Good or bad, come what may, there's a very strong desire in humans for freedom. What I want you to do now is to watch from 1:19, and I'll put that on the GrammarNet page, right to the end. And you're going to watch the storm scene. And you're going to see the huge amount of courage and resilience and determination that Truman shows in the face of being bullied to the extreme to give up and to forget about what he's trying to do and forget about having his own desires, and he's being bullied to go back to his previous world and back to his ordinary routines, which is they succeeded in making him do that after the nuclear power plant episode. It seemed like they had seen that, but you know what? I reckon in that scene which you watched yesterday, where Marlon says, "The last thing I would ever do to you, Truman, is lie to you." And Truman looks at him with tears in his eyes. But I have a theory, and I wonder what you think, that Truman is looking so sad and upset because he knows at that very moment that Marlon is lying to him. I think he's gone over into that place where he has the awareness and he's beginning to really face the awful, painful truth that everybody in his life, except Sylvia, were lying to him. So I want you to watch the end of the film and to do the final worksheet and answer those questions. I'm going to put up and submit them in the due work box, please. Because the next thing that we're going to do, and we're running out of time, is to be planning an essay response. And your essay is going to be on themes. So we've ended up with 4 themes. And these slides are on GrammarNet in front of you. Reality TV is exploitative. We are complicit. We are guilty of manipulating other people. You may not find that an interesting theme. We tend to accept the reality with which we are presented. That's an interesting, thought-provoking theme to write about. Then there's the theme about advertising. and this very powerful theme that you are going to be thinking about today, which is to do with freedom and autonomy being more important in our lives than just being safe and secure. So I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of slides and then we're done for the day in terms of listening to me talk. Your essay response, which will be due at the end of Thursday next week, which is our last day of term, and it's going to be on this question. Describe 2 important themes in the film and explain how they were communicated to you. Remember to refer to film techniques in your answer. So, and over the weekend, I am going to expect you to do some essay planning, and these are some slides. These slides will be up for you to have a look at. So that's after you've done today's work. There will be a bit of work to do this weekend. And I know that you're kind of counting down till you don't have to do online lessons every day, but please make a good push and give English your priority over this time, because I want to get some essays from you before we finish for the term. They will be written on Google Classroom. I'm going to go back to Google Classroom because it's a much better tool for just creating a document which can grow as you write it, because I want you to start with some planning. The end of Monday, there will be some planning due for me to see at the end of Monday. And on Monday, we will also go over the final worksheet that you are going to look at today. There is also going to be an introduction example on GrammarNet in front of you, and some other essay writing slides for you to take a look at. Finally, and I'm sorry this has been a long screencast, I'm going to provide you with a sheet here giving you ideas on how to plan an essay and the main points that you could use to plan an essay on any of these 4 themes. So that is going to be attached as well. So lots of information and lots of stuff on the GrammarNet page for you to navigate and look through, and hopefully you will come up with a thoughtful essay, and I will be able to give you some feedback as we go a little bit next week. All right, so kia kaha, and enjoy watching the end of the film, and think about how Peter Weir really expresses that idea in these final scenes that freedom is an overriding importance to us as human beings, our desire for self-determination. Okay, have a great day.